everybody, it's Jason Vlaha here, and now that my two obligatory informative videos are done for the day, it's time to talk about current events in the online fitness community. And Eric Kanevsky issued a challenge to me the other day, and I want to issue a challenge back. If you guys don't know who that is, let me give you guys an invitation. Hey everybody, it's Eric Kanevsky here. My idol is Piana, and he told me I need to go up to 300 pounds. And I want to be just like him. I want to be dead in my 40s. I already am going bald. I already got this voice. I'm only 22 years old. I started using roids when I was 17 in high school. Because I'm the most optimal person in history. That guy, you guys know who I'm talking about. So let me put on my +5 hat of weaponsmithing. Work on skilling up my crafting a little bit, and let's talk about this. You know what? He tried to issue a challenge, him and his butt buddy Brandy. These two ass clowns tried to issue me a challenge, right? To beat them on the bench press, lifting weights that they can't even lift. They weren't even capable of lifting it. And they don't seem to grasp it. I'm up in my 40s. I want to issue Eric a challenge. You know, he wants to act like he knows anything about fitness or training or anything. He doesn't. The kid's been using gear since he was like 17. We've discussed that before. I was in some of the online groups with him. This kid was like 17 years old putting his cycles up back in the day. So if people want to wonder why he's 300 pounds, I don't know, man, blasting 3 grams a year before you're out of high school. I want to issue you a challenge though now, Eric. I challenge you to stay 300 pounds and keep abusing drugs the way you're doing it and to still be alive when you're my age, right? I'm turning 42 next week. All right, I'm about to be 42. This kid lives an insanely unhealthy lifestyle. He already sounds unhealthy. He looks unhealthy. Over 300 pounds, abusing excessive amounts of exogenous hormones. Again, trying to issue challenges. Make it to my age. I want you to still be alive. Keep doing the crazy stuff you're doing right now, Eric, and still be alive when you're my age, which is what, 20 years from now? Because you're not going to still be alive. And that's the difference. You and your butt buddy are over here doing all this stuff, silly training. You have no clue what any of you guys are doing. You have no clue what you're doing. Your training is atrocious. You guys are bulking up to really, really unhealthy body weights. And hey, I went up to a higher body weight earlier this year, and I've already said I've got to quit doing that. I need to stay under 200 pounds, you know, just for health reasons at my age. But I'm still training heavy. I'm still training hard. I can outlift you guys. You guys have seen me out deadlift you this year without hitting a max with no belt. So I'm still training hard. I'm in my 40s. I want to see you still be alive and still be training at my age while you're still trying to do all this silly stuff that you're doing, trying to emulate Rich Piana. You know, and that's someone who you looked up to. You've kind of modeled yourself slightly after him. He's dead. He died in his 40s. In other words, he died in the same age category I'm in because he abused all kinds of drugs, because he abused his body. And you might be young, you and your butt buddy, you guys might be young now, and you're thinking, hey, this is fine. This degenerate bodybuilding lifestyle is not going to catch up with us for a long time, right? That's what you're thinking. Not going to catch up with you for a real long time. But you know what? I remember being in my early 20s. Granted, it's 20 years ago, but I remember it. Honestly, man, time passes real fast. It passes real fast, brother. And all the silly stuff you're doing now, that stuff catches up with you. I mean, the little things that, you know, that you don't think of, abusing your body already. What are you going to do when you start having the health problems? I mean, hell, let's talk about scar tissue. Everyone makes a big deal. What's that little lump on your bicep? That's from a testosterone injection almost 20 years ago that kind of built some scar tissue in a bad spot, and it's still there. Guess what? That stuff doesn't go away. All those site injections and stuff you guys are doing, you do know that stuff stays, right? And it doesn't always look pretty. It doesn't look good. You do one of them just wrong one time and it gets a big lump of scar tissue in there, and that stays unless you pay a surgeon to go in and cut it out. Right? It's all fun and games, right? Rubbing the grapeseed oil on your weak points. You do know that that doesn't go away. Why do you think Cali muscle looks so weird right now? Because he's been shrinking down and he still has all that synthol in his biceps. You know, so they've got that funny look to him. all the site injections, and injecting gear doesn't do anything really different from synthol. It's the same thing. It's synthol is similar to a carrier oil. It's the same thing. You guys are doing all these silly site injections and using all these drugs. This stuff's going to catch up with you, man. It's going to catch up with you. And I know you don't think about that, but it comes real fast. You think Rich Piana thought about all that stuff? No, he probably in his 20s was abusing all this stuff and putting all that collagen and all that crap in his arms, all that fake muscle that guy had. He was doing all of that not thinking this is all going to catch up with him later till he dropped dead. Dude dropped dead. Some of this should be a wake-up call to you kids. This should be a wake-up call to you kids. All these people, you looked up to guys like Rich. He dropped dead because of the degenerate lifestyle around hardcore bodybuilding. And I know you're probably thinking, I don't know what you guys do. You're probably thinking, well, we don't do all the party drugs too. Hey, that'll probably add a few years. But do you honestly think bulking up to 300 pounds and blasting the amount of crap you're using? I mean, you're 300 pounds without legs, bro. You don't even squat. I know you're going to claim you squat, but I've seen you don't really squat, all right? You don't even have legs and you've got your body weight up that high. You already have this, both of you guys, you and your butt buddy Brandy, both have the big swollen gut from all that some possible organ growth, from all that visceral fat. Why don't you go get a DEXA scan? Because I've had DEXA scans so I know where my visceral fat is. Mine's very low. Why don't you guys go find out how much visceral fat you have on a DEXA scan and then see what the technicians who work there think about it. They're going to tell you you're going to be in serious trouble. All right, that leads to insulin resistance. That leads to heart attacks. That leads to all sorts of problems. You guys are carrying all that visceral fat that's poking those big old roid bellies out. That's all that fat around the organs. It's from some of the drugs you guys have used. It's from bulking up on the wrong crap. And you act like this is a big fun game, man. You kids act like, oh, this is all fun and games. It's not, man. It really isn't. In your 30s, you're going to come real fast. And once you hit your 30s, you're going to blink your eye and you're going to be in your 40s. And you guys want to clown and talk smack on some of the older guys like us who are alive and healthy and doing okay in spite of all of these things. You might want to learn from some of us. Because you silly ass kids act like you don't know anything about training. You don't know anything about nutrition. You're going to be beat up. You're going to be banged up. You're going to have organ problems probably before you reach my age. If you even make it this far. And again, you guys think it's all funny. It's all fun and games. You don't even know how to train. So even if you guys jump out of this bodybuilding game, when that all catches up with you, all that inflammation, all that tendonitis, all the problems you're going to have in your joints from training incorrectly, training like a jackass, problems you're having from all the drugs. And don't come in, you're going to come into my comments and be like, oh, I'm natural. No, you're not, Eric. We know better. You know better than that. Don't pull that crap. It's going to catch up with you, man. It's going to catch up with you. Then where are you going to be? You're going to be miserable. You're going to be in pain. You're going to be sick. Is it worth it? I don't think that it is, man. You shouldn't have got roped into this hardcore bodybuilding lifestyle. I think it's sad that you did, because I remember Eric as a teenager. Like, we were in Facebook groups together. I had conversations with him back then. We ran in similar circles, and this kid was really young, get involved in all this stupid stuff. Now he's in his 20s. Now he's stuck into this lifestyle. He's unhealthy. Got the big, nasty organ growth gut and visceral fat gut going on already. Hanging around jackasses like Rich Piana. I mean, that guy shouldn't be a hero to anyone. He was a caricature of himself. Selling an over-the-top image, but he died broke. He died broke, man. I know because I talked to people who were in his life back during that time. He didn't live the lifestyle that everyone thought that he lived near the end. He died broke. And in a hospital and in a coma in his 40s. And then you see other people out here who were real fitness gurus who were living amazing lives into their old age. I mean, how do you compare that with someone like Jack LaLanne? I mean, that's who we should be looking at as an idol. Guy swam the English Channel in his 90s, died in his 90s, was in phenomenal health in the age where everyone else's grandparents are dead or in walkers. Dude was walking around on his own 2 legs, healthy, active for over 90 years on this earth. He lifted heavy. He was into deadlifts and things. I mean, that's someone we should be looking up to, not Rich Piana. But that's the thing, Eric. You got caught up in this whole silly-ass lifestyle that guys like Rich promoted. Where's it going to get you? It's going to kill you young, man. It's going to kill you young. Health is precious. Health is wealth, and that really is true. That's true. And I wish a lot of you kids would figure that out sooner. I wish I had figured it out sooner. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.